One of the most stupidest things Reform ever really did on this whole campaign trail, especially in the local politics election they did, was the fact that they ran an entire campaign on how much better they are than the other two main parties. Don't you worry. We're just so going to be so gosh darn good. You are going to notice the difference almost immediately. And guess what? It turns out other parties are noticing the difference almost immediately, calling them out on the fact that they've got no plans. We covered last week of the fact that they've got no plans for SEND. That's dealing with children with special needs, education, and of course, disability needs for the people in that county. They have no plans for anything. And in Kent in particular, once again, we are looking at again whether we're about to get that brand new Doge investigation. And oh boy, I cannot wait what the county council's response is going to be to that, because you can bet they are going to have a response to that sooner or later. Meanwhile, of course, we should actually be looking at Kent County Council. What has Reform actually done on Kent County Council? Bear in mind, it's been about 5 weeks since they took power. Surely these people who claimed to be the best thing to hit local politics since sliced bread would automatically be having such a grand impact as they claimed that Kent County Council will be running almost immaculately. The reality, of course, is that Kent County Council is now being accused of being absolutely paralyzed by Reform UK. Hardly, shall we say, a glamorous start to their rule in some of these councils, isn't it? And I wouldn't be too surprised to also see that this is also happening in other local councils as well. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, before we get on into this, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Of course, there are links to my Patreon page, the one donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there's the YouTube membership button down below as well. So, as always, let's crack on then into this. So, this comes from London Economic. No meetings, no direction. Reform UK accused of paralysing Kent County Council. And oh boy, have I seen some people in my comment section recently trying to twist themselves into knots to defend the absolute non-action of Reform UK. Bear in mind, being a local councillor is a very important position. People do not know about local politics, and they do not realize that actually local councillors and the job that they do is really important. And a lot of you have now just elected a bunch of idiots into that position. How well do you think all this is going to go? So let's find out what's going on here. So, just a month after their victorious local election campaign, voters who are, of course, eager to see how Reform UK are governing are still starting to get some answers, and it's not looking great. Surprise, surprise. Several, of course, opposition figures have now even voiced their concerns about a party that are allegedly missing in action. So, Reform in government, it's not quite keeping up appearances. In a statement now issued by the Folkestone and Hythe Liberal Democrats this week, the scale of Reform's inactivity was laid bare. Of 5 critical meetings now planned for the Kent County Council in June, just 4 have been proposed, and there is now a suspicion that the 5th will now follow. So you have 5 important meetings that you have to do. 4 have now been absolutely postponed or outright cancelled, as we'll see in a moment. Why are you just cancelling all these meetings? You should be doing these types of meetings. This is important. This is how local politics works. But they were never interested in doing local politics at all. It's just a big performance show for them. And them not doing this is paralyzing a council. Like, this is, I would not be too surprised if this is a very similar pattern for the other councils as well that they're in control of. Anyway, this is what the announcement had to say. So, after their first full county council meeting back on the 22nd of May, we saw Kent County Council elect its new leader. She then appointed a cabinet, and a slew of timetable council meetings have now been cancelled or postponed. They are also now yet to confirm which cabinet committees will be formed, if at all. For the first 3 weeks in June, there were at least 5 committee meetings tabled. 4 have now been cancelled on topics now including health, planning, and governance. And watch this space for now the cancellation now of the Personnel Committee. That is genuinely, absolutely shocking. Genuinely gone. Like, this is absolutely insane. And again, I'm just going on to their Lib Dem website from here, and it said one of the county councillors basically has said here from Sandgate and Hythe East, councillor, the councillor here says about this. He said, I thought this administration claimed that they wanted to get to work from day one. Funny way to show it. No meetings, no scrutiny, no decisions, no direction. This isn't reform, it is paralysis. Again, shock horror. Shock horror. But this is exactly, of course, what Reform UK do all the time. Anyway, Tim Parler, a Liberal Democrat councillor in the region, also now even went one step further in his criticism, accusing them now of even paralysing local government. He believes they're now failing to deliver on their promises to work hard from the start, and has now slammed the party for having no direction. Again, this is a comment that I've just gone through, saying, I thought this administration formed by Reform had claimed that they wanted to get to work from day one. Well, they've got a funny way of showing it. There are no meetings, no scrutiny, no decisions, just no direction. This isn't reform, it's paralysis. Anyway, but the calls now are growing louder. Labour councillor Ebbs Fleet has now also voiced his concerns, along with Jonathan Hawkes, now flagged a postponed meeting for the police and crime panel, and now accused the right-leaning organisation from being missing in action. He's also said that the local Reform councillor has not been heard from since the election. These people were never serious. They were never serious about any of their meetings. And you can see the post here. We haven't even seen or heard our new Reform county councillor since he was elected over a month ago. And it seems he's not the only one. It seems the new Reform administration at Kent don't want to hold meetings either. Hashtag missing in action. Gee. Who could have guessed this? Oh, that's right. We did from the start. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if this is exactly the same similar thing happening in all the other councils as well that they control. It's just absolute sheer incompetence. Absolute sheer incompetence. But I'll tell you what, at least a lot of people are probably going to realize the importance now of local politics and why they should probably go out and vote and why it actually matters that you elect people who care about the positions they are going for, because it's very, very clear none of these Reform people really cares about the position they were going for. But we'll see. We'll see. And don't worry, we'll keep an eye on, of course, what goes on in these Reform-controlled councils, because, hey, someone's got to, I suppose. And, of course, as always, we'll see you all next time. Oh, and by the way, if any Reform YouTubers out there have problems with me covering all this Reform stuff, and they, I don't know, maybe would fancy a chat, I am open. I am open to the possibility of that happening. However, I suspect you guys probably aren't that too interested in having that chat. But as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.